Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse here, and I am back for another different channel update video because let's just say the last week or so has been rather chaotic and very obnoxious, very annoying, rage-inducing to say the least. But before I get into the channel update and sort of all the things that have been happening and will be happening, we're looking at here the GAConf website. I just want to let everyone know and remind everybody, if you have not done so already, the Game Accessibility Conference Europe version is coming to us this coming Monday and Tuesday. Registration is totally free. I will leave a link to this website in the description below so you guys can explore that if you want to. Like I said, registration is free, and if you have any interest in game accessibility at all, and I would consider registering for this conference. Now, everything should be archived on their YouTube channel after the fact, which is great. But if you really want to, if you are someone who, I've chatted with so many people who have said, I'd really like to be more involved in this. I'd like to talk to developers. I'd like to, yada yada, all those different things. Meet and network more with more people. It would be a good idea to register for this conference because that's what this GAConf is all about. And if you register during the sessions, they will usually have I believe it's Discord, I think. I don't think it's Slack. I think it's Discord. But they will have a place where people can chat, and usually the presenters, a lot of these, especially as they're virtual these days, a lot of the sessions are pre-recorded, but then the presenters are also in the chat answering questions and chatting with the participants or the viewers of the conference. So it's a great way to meet new people and reach out to developers of all types. So, and they do have on this website for the European 2022 GAConf here, they have a page listing all of the sessions for the 2 days, and there's some great stuff in there. A couple that come to mind. There was one on, I believe, first person games and blind accessibility. There was one on there was some stuff about how they made Blind Drive. I know we have some fans of that game. And it's not just blindness stuff. There's, like I said, you can learn about all kinds of disabilities and all kinds of accessibility in gaming. So there's a lot of really cool stuff I'm looking forward to. So I wanted to just really remind everybody about that. Now, this is the European edition of GAConf, so I don't remember what time it exactly starts. But for us in North America, if you want to attend live, it's going to be a wee bit on the early side. But for me, like I said, between this one and the North American version, these are a couple of my favorite days of the year these days. So I will be hardcore, and my sleeping schedule is so messed up now anyway, it doesn't really matter. So I will be hardcore, and I will get up and attend these sessions live. I think, like my time, I think it's usually like around 3 or 4 in the morning. So yeah, plan accordingly. But like I said, register if you haven't already. It's an awesome conference, and it may be a way to get your foot in the door a little bit, should you choose to do so. So, with the GAConf stuff out of the way, and I might do another video after the conference, just kind of giving my thoughts. I might roll that into a future update video, I don't know. But anyway, GAConf, check it out. Oh boy, okay, so on to the channel stuff. First off, again, I want to thank everybody who has been supporting the channel, following the channel, supporting the streams and stuff like that, everything, all the likes and comments and stuff like that. It is very much appreciated. For anyone who is a new subscriber, I unlock videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays. Mondays are stream archives typically, and Wednesday and Saturdays are pretty much everything else. Could be mainstream games, could be blind accessible games, VR content, hardware reviews, geeky stuff. Could be any number of different things that we're trying these days. Everything is in playlists, so if you want to look for something specific or you like a certain type of content, go check out the playlist section and everything will be organized for you there. So I want to first start off by apologizing for Wednesday's video. I guess I didn't, in all the chaos of the last few days, I didn't really check once I had it on YouTube. I did this cool little educational VR experience, and for those who have some vision, there may be some value to it. I'm debating whether I should just delete that video or keep it around for the people, because there were some neat things about, like, for low vision low vision accessibility in VR, like being able to see different things and some things that were harder or that were easier to see. So there may be some value in it. I may leave it up, but I may just edit it and put a little note in the description about the audio, apologizing for it. So I had audio when I recorded it, and I don't have that file anymore, unfortunately, because I uploaded it a while ago on Ye Other Rig, I believe, and so I don't have that file anymore, so I can't play with it again. But for some reason, the experience audio didn't go through. So I do apologize for that. I was really in a hurry yesterday and just unlocked a video and didn't really check, so that was my mistake, my bad. I apologize for that. And thank you to the people in the description who kindly let me know. Yeah, whoops. So why was this last week chaotic? All of this stuff is going to tie together. So as many of you may well know, last October I decided to get a new gaming PC because I wanted to play some of the new next generation games and just, be able to have a really fast rig and be able to keep up with not just games, but be ready to do any consulting work or anything like that I would want to do. So I got this HP Omen 30L, I believe it is, the desktop. I had a review for it under the hardware reviews playlist for the channel. Did a review for it. And, after the first couple of weeks, impressions were really, really good. It was generally working out really well. I think I might have had one game crash. I think that was when I was playing Halo Infinite. And I knew that there were some Halo issues, so I really didn't think much of it. And then it ran fine for a little while longer. But starting earlier this year, I want to say around February somewhere, I was starting to experience a lot more crashing, a lot more. You'd just be doing something. You could be in the middle of a game. You could be checking your email. You could be just surfing the internet, looking at a website. Hell, you could just be letting it sit there while you're doing something else. And you look over and all of a sudden the damn thing rebooted. So it would just start rebooting randomly. And for a couple of weeks there, it kept happening more frequently. And eventually, like, I was monitoring the temperatures and stuff, and they weren't really bad. They were fine for the most part. And but then a couple of weeks of this crashing, I started noticing things were getting worse. I noticed that, like, the fans weren't kicking on when I was playing it, when I started to play a game, or I came out, the thing that really tipped me off was I came out one morning and the RGB lighting that was in the case, the cool colored lighting there, none of it was on, but the computer was on. I'm like, oh, this doesn't look good. And so I looked under Device Manager, and sure thing, a lot of the inner devices just weren't being recognized. I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting a lot of failure. I went into the temperature, the Omen monitoring thingy that I showed you guys in the review, and it was running really, really warm. And I'm like, okay, something's definitely crapping out on me. The motherboard, the power supply, something. So the machine has definitely deteriorated. I immediately backed up a few crucial files that I needed, turned the thing off, contacted HP, and requested a repair. So they sent me a box, I sent it in. So I had to go back to my old rig that I was using before October. And I was using that for over a month, I think, because, it was over a month. I sent it in, they got it right away, but they kept saying, oh, there's delays because of the chip shortages or part shortages or whatnot. And they said, well, at the time we didn't know. We thought it was going to be anywhere from, first it was mid-March, then it was mid-April, then it could have been early May. And then out of the blue last week, Wednesday or Thursday-ish, I think it was Thursday, I got an email saying, oh, we've fixed it and we are shipping it today. You should have it tomorrow. I'm like, oh, great, good, excellent. And yes, I did get it back on Friday. And I thought, okay, cool. We're going to be back in business. We'll be able to play some more games and get back ready to roll. Started setting everything up. They basically wiped everything, which I was expecting. That was not a big deal. I gave them permission on the little repair form that they had me sign. But I got it back, did the initial setup again, started putting some games on there, got a few things, the recording software and all the work stuff I was doing, got all that stuff set up. Ran great for like the first day or two. And then on Monday, I was in the middle of a Teams meeting for work. What happened? The damn thing rebooted out of the blue. Alrighty. Tuesday, I have another meeting. I get through that. I was looking at a website. Middle of reading. Rebooted. Shit. I don't like where this is going. So, we got that. I rebooted. I said, when I got the computer back, when I got it the first time, it went right to Windows 11. However, when they gave it back to me, it came with Windows 10. So what I had done is, I did the Windows updates last Friday, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it's ready for Windows 11, whatever, okay, fine, put Windows 11 back on. And I thought, well, maybe it's a Windows 11 driver issue, so maybe let me roll back, because if you do it within 7 days, it's either 7 or 10 days, I think it's 7 days. If you have a 7-day window to roll back to Windows 10, which I did. And I had a few install issues because there were some things that apparently got uninstalled when I rolled back, and so a couple of games didn't launch. I said, piss on it, let's just do because I don't have much on there anyway, let's just do it again. Let's do basically a factory restore. Came up with Windows 10 again, ran the updates, started using it. I think I was checking my email. Because, the first time I was reading the web, the second time I was reading my email, rebooted. And by this point, I am just devastated. I put so much damn time, so much work into this thing, troubleshooting, send it into HP. They were supposed to fix the damn thing. And I have this funny feeling they replaced the motherboard. They said they replaced the motherboard and one other part, but I think they just replaced it, slapped it in there, made sure it booted, and then just kicked it out the door. I don't think they ran any tests. I don't think they really did anything where, running it for a while or using it or, just kind of doing things just to see if it still reboots, because that was the original problem. So by this point, I'm like, you know what? all this mailing back and not mailing back, and then when I got the on-site warranty, and they were like, well, the on-site warranty, we can come out and replace little things, but we can't, like, if we don't know what the problem is, we can't do on-site because, they don't know what to bring. So, I mean, it kind of made my on-site warranty that I paid for worthless, because I thought, oh, well, me not being able to drive, on-site would be wonderful, because then they can come out and fix an issue or replace something, and I don't have to worry about how to get it shipped out or, get to a repair location or whatever it happens to be. And I've had experience with other companies, through work or through other things in the past that have been pretty good. But the way that HP's work seems to be really minimal at best. Like, oh, well, if you need to replace some RAM or a hard drive, we can come out and do that. But if it's any sort of like actual work or troubleshooting, well, you got to send it in. And I thought, you know what? I have done so damn much troubleshooting with this, and I sent it in. They didn't fix it. I'm not sending it in and then waiting another month and a half only for it to come back broken again. Even in the review, I stated that I was concerned about some heating and cooling issues. It has awesome parts in it. I mean, let me say, when this thing worked, it was the fastest damn thing I've ever used. I mean, it had a Core i7, 11th gen Core i7. It had 64 gigs of RAM. Everything was NVMe SSD hard drive, so it was just stupid fast. And then you had the GeForce RTX 3080, which is not the top of the line, but pretty damn close to the top of the line for graphics. And when games ran, they ran great. They ran beautifully. I mean, you would load something. You would load a game. You would load a browser. You would load something. And it was just, you snap your fingers and it's like instantaneous. I mean, you could go from being at the desktop, restarting the computer, and back up and running again within like probably 10 seconds tops. It was just, like I said, ridiculously fast. But with this instability and just not knowing what it is, they didn't fix it. I put how many countless hours, I can't even remember, since February troubleshooting this damn thing. So I said, you know what? I can't deal with this anymore. I have way too much to do. My day job, consulting, the YouTube channel, XR Access, all these other projects that I'm working on. I don't have time, nor do I have the motivation or the inclination to sit here and beat my head against the wall and fight with HP. So I had been working with this lady, and to her credit, the person that I was working with in the support escalation, she's been really good. So far, she's been excellent. I called her up because she had emailed me literally. She's like, oh, I saw that it went out. Let me know how it goes and let me know if it's working and I can close your support case file. And I said, okay, well, let me use this thing a little bit and make sure it doesn't crash. When she emailed me, I had had one crash. I had that first crash on like Monday, I think it was. So I said, I was in a game and it crashed. I'm like, well, maybe that was just the game being weird. Maybe it was a fluke. God willing, hopefully it was a fluke. Let me use it for a few more days and I'll let you know. Well, then I had those 2 or 3 subsequent crashes or reboots. I said, nope, you know what? We're done. We're done. That's it. So I sent it in. Or I called her up and I said, yeah, you know what? They didn't fix the problem. I have way too many things to do, and I'm a tech person myself. So I know what I'm supposed to do. I know how to troubleshoot this type of thing. So I said, you know what? I hate to do this, but I am going to request a full refund for the computer and for the extended warranty, And yeah, she was like, yeah, no, she's like, man, yeah, I totally hear it. You just sound devastated. Your voice just sounds tired and devastated. I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. Because, like I said, when it worked, it was great. I mean, the thing was just buttery smooth and fast and just good God, man. But I know I have to have something that's reliable. End of story. So she got the information. I checked with my apartment. I took the computer down, boxed it up, brought it to the front office of my apartment building. FedEx should come by either today or tomorrow morning and pick the thing up and send it back to HP, and then they are going to. They can't just credit my account, so they're just going to send me this giant check, and then I'll just deposit that back in my bank. But yeah, so hopefully within the next 10, 20 days, 10, 15 days, I should have my HP refunded. So yeah, there will be no more new gaming rig for a while. I'm back on my. Again, this thing has just been really solid. You know, I've had this computer since 2015. It's got the GeForce 980 in it. So it's an older card. It's great last gen, but maybe not quite so much for this generation. You know, the Xbox Series consoles, PS5, it can't really do that stuff. But for cross-gen or indie games and stuff, it still works great. I mean, and it runs beautifully. So I'm going to be back on the old rig for a while. So how is this? The reason I tell you this is because it's definitely going to affect what I do for streaming and for the channel for the foreseeable future, because I'm rolling back. Won't be covering as many AAA next generation games, that come to PS5 or Xbox One or not Xbox One, but Xbox Series. If they also come to the PC, I might be able to cover some PS5 if I remote stream it to my PC. We will see. I can't think of too many exclusive games that I really want to cover anyway, so we'll see there. And as far as streaming goes, I think I'm really going to take a hiatus, especially for the month of April, at the minimum, because since Friday last week, I have downloaded more operating systems and updates and re-downloading games and stuff. And then I had to work on a work computer, so I was downloading a bunch of stuff for that. So I've cranked through a lot of my bandwidth, and it's only the 7th today. So I want to make dang sure that and I'm going to be attending an all-day streaming conference next week. I've got work meetings. I still have to download stuff the rest of the month. And I want to make sure that with my stupid-ass Comcast data cap nonsense, I want to make sure that I don't go over and that I have the bandwidth that I need to do all of what I need to do this month. And to be honest with you, like I said in an earlier video or in some earlier streams recently, I've been kind of toying with the idea of not streaming regularly or kind of stopping streaming. Like, I do enjoy it. Sometimes I really, really do. Like, we've had some regular viewers in there. We've had, probably a good half a dozen people that sort of regularly filter in and out, and that's cool. I'm not looking for hundreds of people watching me. I'm not looking to become famous or anything like that. Don't care. And sometimes it's just fun to play a game and chat with people and whatever. So, there are times where it's really fun, but there's also times where, like I said, I've done so much tech stuff and so many projects, even during the weekend or during the week, that sometimes I just don't feel like even playing a game, let alone, performing in public, basically, like playing a game in front of people. I just don't. And sometimes I just want to play a game and not be recording or not be streaming for people. I just want to play a game for myself and enjoy it. And I don't feel like I do that enough these days. So I I am gonna kind of take a break on this whole streaming thing. Like if something really really cool happens, keep an like again, follow me on Twitter at bgfh79. If I'm just really in the mood to chat with people, or if there's something really really fun that comes out, like if they gave a release date for like the next month or something, and that Turtles arcade collection comes out, I might consider streaming that. I might. Or if like some super amazing accessible game came out that I really wanted to play, maybe I might do that. But aside from something just really, really, and in case I really get something in my head that I really want to stream one day, I'm going to take a break. I need to take a break from streaming. And I'm going to concentrate on the YouTube channel. I'm still going to be releasing videos. I have a lot of videos already recorded and queued up, and yes, the vast majority of them, they should work, unlike the mistake I made yesterday. So I have lots of content already recorded, and like I said, I will be able to play some indie games, smaller games, even like last generation games. I got to look at the system specs again, but like I think Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga, like that just came out, and I had intended to play it on my new rig, but well, I don't have that rig anymore. But I think it's still a Xbox One PS4 era game, so I should still be able to play that. I think the requirements aren't even like the 9 series. I think you only have to have like a 780, or like on the high end. I mean, it'll play better if you have better, of course, but so I might be able to check that out at some point. But a lot of the smaller games, there's plenty of indie stuff on Steam that I can play. There's plenty of, platformers or retro shooters, or a matter of fact, I think literally today, Forgive Me Father, this kind of cool retro first-person shooter, I think is coming out of early access. So I'd like to check that out at some point. There will still be I still will be able to play and cover a lot of different stuff. I just won't be able to play the really graphically intense, ray traced, and PS5 era PC ports. And I know that a few people have suggested a couple of different games. I did get through one of them. I did do the what was it called? Dungeons and Such, which actually was kind of a fun little game, I have to admit. For being a mobile thing and being voiceover accessible, just a straightforward, no frills, just go into this Diablo-esque dungeon and go down level, all these different levels, and fight dudes and try to get as far as you can. It's not a bad little game, even though it's, like I said, it's turn-based and I'm not typically into those. But it's all right. There are a couple other iOS games that I'm going to try to get through. I know lately there was this game called Scramble for the PC that is supposed to be, I know a lot of people are digging that game. I did try downloading the demo on this older machine before I had gotten my new rig back. And for some reason, I tried downloading the demo, because even the webpage said, try downloading the demo to make sure it runs first. So I don't know if there's something weird that it doesn't like to run on some machines, but I cannot get the thing to run. I don't even remember if it's like some error that just thing won't run. The thing just doesn't do anything. I don't remember what it was now, but I tried troubleshooting that as well. So I'm going to wait a while, and if, maybe they come out with some future updates or something, maybe I'll look at downloading a future version. Maybe there'll be some bug fixes, and then maybe it'll run on my machine. So I know if anyone wanted me to look at that Scramble game, I may not be able to do that right now because my computer doesn't seem to like it for whatever reason. And I think there was somebody who wanted there. I forget what it was called. There was some sort of. I think it's like an online sort of multiplayer game of some sort or something. I think I've heard of it before, but I just hadn't really looked into it much. We'll see if I'll be able to cover that or not. And I'll keep an eye out on other iOS games and, even PC games like those. I can't imagine that most of those are going to be all that, they're not even going to be graphical for the most part. These, self-voicing or audio games, they're going to be pretty lax on their system requirements. So I don't know. But yeah, so like I said, not having my new rig is going to affect. It is going to affect what I'm able to cover on the channel. I'm not going to be able to cover some of the new stuff. I am going to try and find a new rig that I'm happy with, and I'm going to look into buying a similar spec kind of rig. And again, normally the last few generations of PCs, I have not got a pre-built like a Dell or an HP or anything like that. I've had either friends or local shops that I work with, because sometimes we work with them at work, and I get to know the guys and a little bit, and I'll get a local shop to help me build it because, like I said, yes, I'm a nerd. Yes, I'm good at tinkering with the software and everything, but I just don't really have any interest, and I'm not really good at like building a machine from scratch. I don't want to do the physical putting the thing together and buying and making sure the parts are compatible and then building it and not having it wired wrong. I just really have no interest in that. I'm just, what was it, the Lethal Weapon line? I'm getting too old for this shit. I just don't care. I want to buy a computer that is custom built. I want to have it built. I want to have like the specs that I want. I want to take the thing home, put it on the desk, plug everything in, and just have it work. And no, I'm not getting a Mac. Mac is not a gaming machine, contrary to what some people will tell you. No, I'm definitely PC through and through. But I have some ideas, like I said. And the other thing, the main reason I tried to give the Prebuilts a chance is because of all the chip shortages. And a lot of people were going these pre-built route because no one could get any processors or graphics cards because all these damn scalpers would come in. Again, the RTX 3080 card alone retail is about $700, so it's not a cheap graphics card on its own. But I mean, I was looking at them, and like, if you want to buy one of those now, prices are starting to come down, thankfully. But when I was looking, even late last year, like prices were literally, if you found a cheap one for $1,400, you were lucky. I was seeing anywhere from on average $2,400 to $3,000, and if you think I'm paying $2,500, $3,000 for just the graphics card alone, you're high. You're insane, because absolutely not. So what a lot of people were doing, is these OEM manufacturers, your Dell, your HP, your Lenovo, whatever, they were getting all these, parts for their pre-built machines, and then people were just buying them and then using them that way, because maybe you spend $2,500, $3,000 on a machine, but you got the whole machine. You got the processor, the hard drive, the RAM, the case, and not just the GPU. So I've got a couple places in mind locally that I'm going to contact, I don't know, within the next little while-ish. I don't know when I'm going to get around to doing it, but I'm going to chat with them, give them the specs of the machine that I got from HP, because, man, like I said, when that thing worked, I mean, NVMe drives, especially M2 NVMe drives, are just fast. I mean, 64 gigs of RAM. I mean, the thing, like, I probably only need 32. But again, if I'm going to use this thing for 5, 7, look at this thing. I bought this thing in 2015, and it's still kicking 7 years later. And I bought it in like March, so it's literally like over 7 years old now. And, you know, aside from not being able to run some high-end games right now, I mean, the thing still runs great. So I buy a computer, I use it, I use the heck out of it, and then just, you know, when it strikes me, a new generation comes around or whatever, and then I'll think about upgrading again. You know, I'm not one of these people that upgrades their parts and tinkers with it every year or two or more. I just buy something, use it until it doesn't meet my needs anymore, and then I buy a new one. And then I have the old one for a backup. And thankfully, old Trusty here, thankfully he's still hanging in there. So that is what has been going on over the past week. You know, I had sent out a tweet saying, yay, I got my new computer. Hopefully it's working, and I'm tweeting on it and such. And then disappointment hit on Monday, and it's been downhill ever since. So again, sorry for the video yesterday. I think I'm just going to edit the description and keep it up there. And then, like I said, there are some benefits to it still. Like if you're a low vision user, you can kind of see some pretty interesting low vision stuff for some of them, like the mapping that they did, where you can select the different locations and stuff. They had kind of a neat thing going for that. But for now, I'm going to keep it up there. As for the HP Omen desktop, I think I am going to, because I just don't have faith in that brand. I know I've heard mixed reviews. Some people love it, but some people have had a lot of hesitation on it. A lot of people, like I said, have had heating or cooling issues, concerns with it, just like I did. I'm thinking of just taking that review down and just deleting that video permanently, because what I say in that video, if the computer worked stably as it should, my review would stand. But I cannot in good conscience recommend that machine right now. And even if it were running properly, like I said, it would run a little warm. It ran a bit on the warm side, and even in my review I said, this thing really needs at least 2 or 3 more fans, or some kind of better cooling, some sort of better ventilation. If you were running like a 20 series card or something older in there, it would be fine. But you're pushing a really fast processor. You're pushing this giant 2-slot card, this 3080 that is just a beast. And then they don't add much for the case cooling or much for the cooling the processor. So I kind of almost have a feeling that the rebooting could, even though it didn't register, I think there was something that was tripping a sensor and that was just causing the machine to reboot. I really honestly think it might have been a thermal issue. And I wasn't going to fight with it. I wasn't going to void my warranty and try to have somebody help me look at it and figure it out. I'm just like, nope, you know what? I've had enough problems with this thing. I gave the Prebuilts the old college try again, and for desktops anyway, for laptops it's fine. Like you pretty much you pretty much have to get a brand laptop of some sort. But for desktops, for all the precise things that I want it for, I think I gotta go custom. Especially now that it's hopefully becoming more affordable again. So, making a long story long, short story long, whatever you want to call it. I know it's a long story short, but no, I babble. That is what's been going on. That is what's going to be happening for the channel. And also, like I said, we have the Game Accessibility Conference coming up next week. I know Apple announced their WWDC in early June. I will likely be gone for that. I will still be releasing videos for you guys, more than likely. but I'm going to be out of town for a few days, for about a week. So anything that I cover will probably have to be after I get back, probably mid-June-ish. Same thing with now E3 has officially been canceled. Like I knew in-person E3 was being canceled, but about a week ago they they did announce that the official like digital, the online version of E3 was also being canceled. So that is not a thing. I'm sure Jeff Keighley will have some of his Summer of Gaming stuff. I don't know if that'll be early or mid-June or when that's going to happen. But I suspect if it is going to be early June-ish, again, it's going to be just one of those things where I will have to cover some highlights when I get back. Normally I don't travel this time of year, but like I said, I have some family commitments that I have to do. So I won't be covering those things as live or as timely as I normally would. I know everyone loves to hear about the new version of iOS and all the announcements from E3 and all the Summer of Gaming stuff, and I don't know what's going to happen this summer. Like I said, are they going to have separate events? Is Microsoft going to do something? Is Sony going to do something? Are they going to be all in one clump, like within 1 week? Are they going to be scattered throughout the summer again like they were in 2020? Is Jeff Keighley going to do his thing? IGN, whatever, all these different things. Who knows? I don't really know yet, but those are just some things that, like I said, again, everything is sort of disrupted this year. And all this, technical issues with my new rig, recently becoming a crapshoot. It is what it is. I was really mad about it yesterday, really mad about it the last couple days, but like again, what am I going to do? There's only so much I can do with it, so I cut my losses, said to hell with it, sent it in, get a refund, and let's start over. Let's find something else. So anyway, that has been what is going on. That is some channel updates. Again, I will be recording what I can on this computer, covering indie games and hopefully some accessible games, hopefully some iOS stuff. But we'll keep trucking away. Especially for this month, I am going to be taking a streaming hiatus. Could be longer. I may do some sporadic streams next month, or I honestly, with the streaming stuff, I really don't know. But like I said, it's been so busy, so chaotic, and then all this troubleshooting and all this technical issues on top of it. I need a break. I'm going to chill for a while. So anyway, thanks again everybody for all the support and following the channel. And for the comments, thanks for letting me know about Wednesday's video. Again, whoops, my bad. Again, I didn't check it yesterday. I just hey, let's unlock it. I'm in the middle of all this chaos, but let's get Wednesday's video out. And then I looked at it and went, oh crap, sorry. So, we'll wrap it up here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was helpful for you. If you're thinking about an HP desktop, I would say maybe don't do it. Like, the low end, I wouldn't even touch. I wouldn't even consider touching. But even the high end, like these Omens, unless they really start taking their cooling seriously, and unless I hear really, really good things, it's going to take a lot to make me even think about an HP desktop again. Or even like a standard pre-built like that. So we'll see what I'll do in the future. But hope this video was helpful. Give it a like if you did. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79. Twitch.tv/illegally cited. Even though I'll be taking a break from there for a little while. IllegallyCited.com. And of course, right here, youtube.com/illegally cited. So till next time, I will chat with you guys again later.